say welcome to another live debate, and it's not even a debate anymore, but rather a series of discussions to make TBC and the Kringle Society stronger. Those of you who have joined, try and connect the link and share it share it in the group. And so Mr. Abundance is here to move this Kringle Society forward. I know what leadership is all about. Leadership is creating the atmosphere so that all can be motivated and leave no one behind. That is leadership. Leave no one behind. So those of you who have joined, if you can share the link in the group, that would be fantastic. I believe you can hear Mr. Abundance. I have a few things to address. And by the way, I will be looking again today at the article of association that, we have all agreed to. Yesterday, I literally ran off the studio yesterday, literally, because I told you I had a funeral to attend, and because while I was going into the church, and because the church was full, the church was it was filled yesterday to the overflow, a very big church. And Mr. Abundance was like a celebrity yesterday because there's so many people I have not seen for 10 years, 5 years, 2 years. So it was like everybody was wondering, who is this gentleman? And what saved Mr. Abundance, I can tell you, is that the church was filled, number one. And number two, as I was going up the stairs to the church, there are so many people that I was greeting. And while I was there greeting, the procession now is actually coming out of the church. So yesterday, I went just seconds before they begin to exit the church. It would have been a shame if I was just walking into the church because they were expecting me to come to the front. So I was very happy that at least they saw me outside, standing as if I was there from the beginning, greeting people. So that's what saved me yesterday. All right. So today, I would like to welcome, and please, Pascal and the others, if you're in the group, I believe, just send the link to the group, please. I see that there's 8 of you there. Just copy the link and send it to one of my group, and somebody will send it out. I believe if one of my administrators are there, they will do the same. Okay. So please just send the link into the group, and then one of my admin staff will put it in all of the groups. TBC's full-blown economy is not negotiable. We cannot negotiate TBC's economy. I find that the light, I'm not too sure if I see that there's a darkness. I don't know. My light should be good, but I'm still seeing that. I'm not too sure. Let me see. All right. So our, okay, I think the link is in the group already. Okay, yes, it's in the group already. Thank you very much. All right. So, and also send it to the YouTube group. Okay, beautiful. Now, our economy is non-negotiable. I entered TBC in February of this year. And whenever Mr. Abundant does something, he does it well. I can tell you that. I told you when I entered the hospitality profession, those who trained me, those who supervised me, in 4 years, I was managing them. I also said to you that nothing rises above leadership. I also said to all of you in TBC that become so good at what you do that you will not be able to be ignored. I also said to all of us that we must become a person of value. We must become a person of value. And so when Mr. Abundance came into TBC, it was very obvious to a lot of people that TBC will not remain the same. But a lot of people did not know to the extent Mr. Abundance's influence would have been in the community. And so Mr. Abundance has tested every program that he is in. And you know why I test every program? Because my name is more important to me than money. You cannot buy Mr. Abundance. Position does not get Mr. I am in position managing hundreds of people since 1993. Since 1993, I'm in management, living on property. I told you I entered executive management in 2001 at a very young age. And so money and position does not get, I told you in 2 broadcasts before that I stood up to my president, the head of state, for principle. I told you that. I told you in some broadcasts ago, I stopped a minister of government from traveling because I refused to authorize his traveling allowance because it was not principle for me to do it. I told you all about that. I said, a city minister of government, I stopped from traveling. So a lot of you need to understand Mr. Abundance. That Mr. Abundance, when he speaks, he understands leadership. And so you have, they said that one Augustine or somebody was sent as a surrogate for the admin to listen to what I am saying and to counter what Mr. Abundance is saying. That is what he says he was sent for. I want to ask the surrogate of Mr. Admin, I want to ask him 3 questions, because when you are representing as an ambassador, you must know who you're representing. And so I want you to answer these 3 questions, and then Mr. Abundance can engage you. Number 1, Sir Augustine, because at least as Matthew pointed out to you this morning, Mr. Matthew pointed out to you this morning, and somebody sent me the recording. You have not refuted anything that Mr. Abundance has said. You have actually confirmed that everything Mr. Abundance is saying is actually truthful. That is all I am interested in, being truthful. That's it. You can take everything else, but give us the truth so that we can have credibility in TBC. That's all I am saying. And so I was saying that I tested every program, and TBC is now going to the test. Do you think that because I was sitting in hours in conference with admin that Mr. Abundance would not test the system? You would be mad. I said you have not seen. I said this community has not seen the best of Mr. Abundance yet. I said the best of Mr. Abundance is still yet to come. But for that to happen, Mr. Abundance must test what we're in. And this is the test. And so if we pass this test, I can say to the community of divisions, sail on, sail on. My name worth more than money. And so I will ask Mr. Augustine these three questions. Do you know where the admin lives? That's number one. Do you know the second tier program that equally can bring us to full-blown economy? Do you know the second tier planned for the admin to bring us into full-blown economy? Do you know who proposed it and what the admin thinks of the proposer? So if you can answer me those three questions, then enter the debate with Mr. Abundance. But if you cannot answer these questions, it means that you have not yet known who you're representing. And so I'm asking you to do your homework, because you have been sent as a surrogate to listen to Mr. Abundance and, as it were, to counteract. But you will not be able to counteract anything that Mr. Abundance says, because what Mr. Abundance is saying is factual. May I say to the broadcasters and those who are contesters, there's a difference between you and I when I am in conference with admin. My years in management and leadership have me to ask pertinent questions, not to just go in to listen to what the admin has to say. But Mr. Abundance tactically discussed many topics, not because I want to be in conference with the admin, but Mr. Abundance wants to be sure that what he is in is legitimate and of substance that I can put my face to. And so, if anybody knows the admin, is Mr. Abundance, and I know exactly why I am doing what I am doing. A lot of you will not know, but Mr. Abundance knows. I know what the admin will do and what the admin would not have prepared to do. So having discussions with regards to these subjects, it would not have changed the admin position, because the admin has already cemented himself in certain positions. And so I know, but I also realize that those positions were not tenable to achieve full-blown economy. And so it makes no sense battling with the admin over those. And so I just want to make a lot of you know that. I just want a lot of you to know that. And so we in the community of TBC, as I always says, must become meaningful specifics. I will go to the article of association. Then, no, by the way, let me go back to the critique. Oh, by the way, let me share my let me share my screen. because I need to finish with the critic today. Yes, I need to finish with the critic. And you know, as I said, that it is all well and good to this is the critic. This is the blog that admin sent out. So I just want everybody to see it. And so we're down to yesterday. So I will continue where I left off yesterday, where the admin said that he have wasted a lot of time listening to his broadcast, and that's Mr. Abundance. And he also says that and he also received an avalanche of complaints coming to his desk. And of course, we know who they are, because the only person who have access to the desk of admin are his Bitcoin bounty contesters, his Bitcoin contesters, and his clone broadcasters. Those are the ones who have access to him. He says he runs on like he knows better. Mr. Critic has no authority in the Kringle Society. You know, at one time, I remember that I was having my board of directors meeting in the 21st Century Group. And when I looked on the blog, I saw that admin even put my private meetings that I was having, private board of directors meeting. I was shocked. A matter of fact, I had to tell him to take it down. When I went into conference, he says, no, I am not going to take it down, because I am just impressed in how you handle yourself professionally. And so those who are in the 21st Century Leadership Group board of directors, they can testify of what I am saying. I did not put our board meeting on the blog because it had no place there. But the admin was so impressed with Mr. Abundance. And now he's saying that I have no authority in the Kringle Society. He never will, and he never will. I will not listen to another word from the ignoramus. There is no need to continue to send in complaints about him. So he's talking now to the Bitcoin contesters, and he's now speaking to his broadcasters, because they are complaining because Mr. Abundance has told the society that there's no need for them to be paying. Paying for what? Paying for what? But that has not yet come. That has not yet fully explained. And so broadcasters and those who are enjoying Bitcoin bounty, if you think you're feeling the effects of Mr. Abundance, that the avalanche of complaints, you have not seen anything yet. You have not seen anything yet. He says, the admin says, there is no need to send in complaints because I have my decision to distance myself from him. Him is destroying himself, and he cannot be reasoned with. Really? Somebody who have reasoned with hours with the admin. A matter of fact, I have to always close those meetings down, because as if I was a magnet to the admin. I have spent hours, and that's why I'm saying to you broadcasters, I can almost say to all of you put together, you have not spent the quality of time that Mr. Abundance spent with the admin. All future complaints about him will get to the dislink article. Okay, so that is what he's saying. Positivity builds while negativity destroys. And of course, one of his surrogates have that as his as her title. It's really that simple. The critics of the world do not pay the bills. And so admin is saying that not only the critics, those who are critiquing his management style don't pay the bills, but we are trash, as he says, that the critic is moving out the trash from the community. I, the admin of TBC, have kept TBC. I, the admin, has paid the bills. Mr. Critic contribution have been so microscopic that within the space of a single week, he cost in man hours dealing with him far overweigh his microscopic contribution. Mr. Abundance, you're really expensive to deal with. He's collecting the trash for us now. And so here, admin is saying, I am collecting the trash. I want to know who are the trash I am collecting, and he's thanking me for that. He says negativity draws into itself the like. He says negativity draws into itself the like. And so if you're not a broadcaster, if you're not in the Bitcoin, because don't forget, admin wanted me to be one of the contestants. You know, he even says that, look at Fletcher. Fletcher can't speak. Fletcher don't even know how to do a proper broadcast. You have the orator. He says you have the gift. Not many people can do what you're doing. These are the words that came from the admin. And I told the admin, you know, Mr. Abundance is not a one-man show. I never liked to be singled out. I am one of those leaders that takes everyone with him. And so if I cannot motivate the entire global community of Tibetans to rise to action, no, I will not go it alone. If you want to go fast, go it alone. If you want to go far, take the community with you. And so that is my style of management. The admin style is, if one person can recruit 1,000, that will motivate somebody else to do it. So that is his style of leadership. I have no problem with his style, but do not become so cheap. Do not become so, you have exposed yourself. You have really exposed what you worth with this article. I pay the bills. It continues in negativity draws into itself the like, and those holding negative opinions about TBC, its admin, or anything else about us will gather together and carry on about it. But this is always short-lived and dies of natural causes each time. So don't worry about it. Just shun negativity and keep your space in the positive zone. And these people always claim to have more power than they do, so they don't take word. They don't take word for these claims. So don't take their word for these claims. Let them be and go in peace. Trash collectors such as Mr. Critic are providing a valuable service. Trashy, negative people are always looking for a good reason to leave TBC. Trashy and negative people. You know, it is quite unfortunate, really unfortunate, that the admin have to sink this low. And I can say to the admin, I'm not too sure how you're going to redeem yourself. I am not too sure. Right now, Mr. Abundance is even sorry for your position. I am not lying. I am even sorry for your position, admin, because how can you rise in TBC and carry us along? except you come and apologize. Except you come and apologize. Mr. Critic uses some big words when he speaks, even though he may stutter when using those words. His claim to possess integrity cannot be confirmed by his behavior. I want the admin to point out those behaviors. Just don't say behaviors. Point out those behaviors, because I have a series to run of all the projects that you have promised but never been delivered. And so let the community see who have integrity and who don't. He's not truthful. I also want the admin to bring his claim of the lies that I have told the community, because everything that I have said to the community are taken from the blog and are taken from the Kringle's cash back office. And so if I am lying from your own writings. He has twisted so many things about in TBC around that it is unrecognizable coming out of his big mouth. Like Lucifer, he prides himself in being the accuser. The number of false accusations he has made is too large even to bother making a list and addressing them. Now, this is very important, that the TBC admin is saying that the number of false accusations he has made. I told the global community of TBCians that the most dangerous thing on earth is the media, because the elites have used the media to condition the mind of the people. And here we have a system that has come to change, to give us hope, to give us a new way of doing things than what the elites are now doing. A matter of fact, Mr. Abundance is even fighting the elite system and perception of the media of our Kringle Society. I told the entire global community that we are operating from the desk of the President of the United States. We are operating from the desk of the Governor of California. We are operating from the desk of the IRS, from the desk of the Security Exchange Commissioners of the United States. We are operating from the desk of the Secretary of State responsible for the Treasury of the United States. Are those not true, admin? What have I twisted in the community? Don't say, I am saying, point them out so that Mr. Abundance can tell the community that I am sorry, that I have misled them down the wrong path. I am saying to you, Mr. Admin, because you will never do this again to another person in TBC. You, the admin, will never do it. And so this is lesson 101. When you are making, like Lucifer, you say, accusing Mr. Critic, be more specific. Be more specific. So all of the broadcasters and the Bitcoin contesters can say, yes, Mr. Admin, you are true. But even your surrogate that you have sent in the name of Austin has testified that I am truthful. At least he says I am truthful. So I want you to use the blog, because he who controls the media controls the mind of the people, and the media operatives are the most dangerous people on earth. Equally, the blog, TBC blog, and the broadcasters are the most dangerous weapon in TBC, because look what you have done. You try to bury Mr. Abundance, and those of us who have common sense and intelligence in TBC. And why did you do it? Because we call for transparency and accountability in TBC. And we are saying that the $25 is a stranglehold around the necks of the poor people in the community. We are saying that the $25 monthly has retarded the progress of duplication in TBC. We are saying that $25 a month is an albatross around the necks of the TBCians, and it is not sustainable for our growth in TBC. It is not sustainable to bring mass duplication and mass merchants adoption. It is not sustainable in TBC. And we are saying to remove the albatross so that the community can breed. That is all I am saying. That is all we're saying. And put in transparency so we can fund the projects that you have to fund, because there are a lot of us who are meaningful in TBC. Some of these people don't even make 25 US a month. How can we, in our good senses, ask them to pay ad infinitum? As Derek says, that we may go through many redemptions, and you want the same poor people to pay you the admin Bitcoin bounty without end. No, it cannot. We cannot operate like that. And that is why Mr. Abundance is saying, bring the projects together. And by the way, you, Mr. Austin, you're talking about the admin shows how we spend the money. Shows what? Do you spend more time with the admin than Mr. Abundance? Do you know the administrative system more than Mr. Abundance? You don't even know 5% of what Mr. Abundance knows. So I am saying to you, my brother, you are being used. I said, you are being used. And so please go and spend a little bit more time with the admin. I am asking you to do it. And finally, he says, you will not find it by listening to him. If you're looking for the truth, now here you go now. If you're looking for the truth, you will not find it by listening to him. Now, I don't know who is conflicting who, because his surrogate has said this morning he cannot refute what I am saying. But the sender is saying now that if you're looking for the truth, you will not find it by listening to him. Now, all those videos that the admin has put up on the blog post, but you are free, and so he is free to do whatever. So if you want to listen to him, go ahead. Nobody will stop you. If you give him money, especially in TBC transaction, be warned. Now, this is where I think the admin really hit ground zero. This is where the admin really hit ground zero. Admin, have you forgotten that all my videos in registration, creating accounts, buying Kringles, sending Kringles, verifying Kringles, they were all being posted on your blogs as soon as I am finished? How come those who are transacting Kringles with Mr. Abundance must be warned? Have anyone reported to you in the community that I have stolen from them, Mr. Admin? Have any one of your broadcasters and contesters, have anyone in the Kringle Society said Mr. Abundance have taken one Kringle from them? Now, have you, Mr. Admin? And you know why the admin said this? Because the admin knows that Mr. Abundance is not into Bitcoin bounty. He knows that that Mr. Abundance is a meaningful specific, and Mr. Abundance shows the vision of TBC that is all about having TBC that will make you be the difference between the haves and the have-not. I am saying to the admin, what is your priority in TBC? To create a bunch of people who are running after Bitcoin bounty, or to create a bunch of people who knows how to sell the Kringles so that we can have more billionaires in the community? Which one you prefer? Now, the admin knows that Mr. Abundance cash flows from being a meaningful specific by selling Kringles, not by Bitcoin bounty. And so now he's even attacking the area that he knows where I am cash flowing. He's not attacking the Bitcoin bounty. He's not attacking that at all. He's now saying, but you are warned. You will regret it, because he's only loyal to himself, and you will be without his support. Really? Really, Mr. Admin? He who stood up with you. Anyhow, this is the time that I will spend with this, I will now take oh, 36 minutes. Mr. Abundance, one moment. I will stop share, and I will take your comments. I will take all of your comments. Oh, I tell you, I must not fail the community to let them know why we are here. And this is why we are here. I am sorry again. Let me just take just give me 2 minutes there again to share my screen, because the community must know why we are here and why we're doing this, so nobody goes away with the wrong idea that this thing is about Mr. Abundance. It is not. It's about accountability. The Kringle Society is appealing to the admin to use this opportunity to operate the Kringle Society transparently with accountability, progressive policies and programs to achieve our full-blown economy sooner rather than later. Mr. Admin, we cannot continue to break promises and be credible in our community. We cannot continue to break promises and maintain integrity. And we in TBC cannot continue to go around in circles. It's time for us to have more accountable systems in TBC. To this end, the Kringle Society is calling on the creator of the Billion Coin, TBC admin, to effect the Privy Council and the Board of Trustees, which are stated in the Kringle Society Private Contract Association, subsection 5 and 6, under venue and jurisdiction, which gives the Kringle Society the operational credibility. We're calling on the TBC admin that you cannot run TBC by yourself. It is not even management. I am ashamed to even let the society know that you are the only one. And so I am saying to you, admin, because, a lot of the people in TBC may look at your blog and they may believe what you say, but you yourself don't even believe what you have written in that article. You yourself don't even believe. And so Mr. Abundance is still saying to you, because Mr. Abundance has not changed, that let us put in the board of trustees and the privy council. What are you waiting for? These things should have been in even before you sell one Kringle. The board, the privy council, and the board of trustees should be in the foundation of TBC, that all of us can see accountability and transparency. That is what we're talking about. Don't tell me that we don't have enough people to have a board of trustee over 3 million people. Are you saying that the 3.4 million of us are new to genders? We don't count? We have no respect, that we're nobody? We further suggest that an accurate quotation from reputable sources. We are saying that you need to go to reputable sources of blockchain or whatever it is and get quotes and bring them to the society. And you must put in the management system so that everybody in Kringle Society can have confidence in the projects that you're bringing forward. That is what we're asking for. You said that it will take 100,000 to automate the system for us to pay you 5% transaction on Kringles. We're saying keep November Bitcoin bounty rewards and get it done. That is what we're saying. Keep all of the Bitcoin bounty and get it done. We're also saying that with regards to the admin debate, consensus shows that members should be given an option if they want to be full-timer in TBC. If they want to be full-timer, paying 8 grains of gold, let it be. Equally, those of us, but I'm not even a part of the 4 grains because I'm paying monthly, but I am not a Bitcoin contester. My thing in TBC is to educate the entire community as how to become meaningful specifics, how to cash flow in selling Kringles, and to create billionaires in the community. That is Mr. Abundance's role. And for us to reach full-blown economy, not about getting a few pittance in your pocket, because now we have now become major in minor matters. We're talking about bringing the projects to be financed. I touched that already. A forensic audit so that we know exactly how many members are in TBC. And that the send button meetings should become more meaningful than just a talk shop. It should be a forum where we in the community can interact with you so that we can tell you, because we are the pulse, we are the builders. We can tell you what we are facing so that we can make adjustment if you're really serious about full-blown economy this year. And so you still have Mr. Abundance support, and you have Mr. Abundance wisdom and management skills. You have it. And so now let's go. I am sorry that I have to keep you that long. But I just have to always go back to the base of what we're discussing, so nobody begin to twist anything. It cannot be twisted. We are dealing with facts. We are not being emotional. We are not being personal. We are talking about transparency, accountability, and good governance in TBC. Which leader will not want that? Good evening, Mr. Abundance. Welcome to the forum. We listen to you and we love you. You are the voice of the voiceless. Thank you very much, Mr. Pascal. Hi, Mr. Abundance from the Côte d'Ivoire. I hope I am pronouncing it so it's French. You're welcome, Mr. Joseph. Yeah, yeah. Good evening, house. Special greetings, Mr. Abundance. Good evening, Mr. N4. Good evening, Mr. Abundance. This is BJ from Belgium. May God Almighty will continue to bless you and strengthen you. Thank you, my brother. It's for this reason Mr. Abundance was born. I hope the sooner TBC admin recognizes my role in TBC, the quicker we reach to our economic phase. I said the sooner Mr. Admin recognizes Mr. Abundance expertise and skills, is the sooner we reach full-blown economy. We shall not spin anymore in TBC as we have done for the past 3.5 years. Not while Mr. Abundance is in the audience. Hello, Mr. Abundance. Hello, Rachel. Good evening, Mr. Abundance. All the technicians around the world. Good evening. Hi, Mr. Abundance. Hi, Joy. Hello, Mr. Abundance. Hello, Gaber. Andy Billionaire. Andy Billionard. All right. Greetings from Uganda, Mr. Abundance. Pastor Joseph, I said to you, greetings to my folks in Uganda. And may I say to the folks in Uganda, because a few of you have inboxed me with the concern of the admin, may I say to you, where Mr. Abundance and TBC is concerned, there has been no changes. Mr. Abundance is a bona fide member in the community. Mr. Abundance is a trusted seller within the community. Mr. Abundance is a broadcaster in TBC and also a global trainer in TBC. Nothing has changed where Mr. Abundance is concerned. And all my transactions of Kringles are legitimate as if was done by the creator himself. Mr. Admin cannot nullify my transaction. He doesn't have that authority to nullify. I have not stolen. I have not discounting. I am not selling any wallets. I am not robbing the poor of their innocence. I am not a criminal nor a scammer in TBC. I have brought many things to light that a lot of you can now cash flow. That is what I brought to the community. Truth and righteousness and how it should be. And so how dear admin now tell the community the truth is not in him. Well, if the truth is not in Mr. Abundance, neither can the truth be in the blog, neither can the truth be in TBC's back office. And so if all this is fake, it will be tested. I said to you, Mr. Admin, you will be tested in TBC by Mr. Abundance. You will be, all your systems will be tested, because we can no longer go down the road as Bitcoin, BitConnect, nor BitWorld. No, it will not happen. And so we are legitimate, yes, because we're already gone and passed the test of legitimacy in TBC. That is what I know. But now the systems and the policies in TBC must become compatible to our growth. I am saying to the admin, your policies and programs in TBC cannot just take a few bounty contestants and bounty recipients to build TBC. You cannot turn TBC into network marketing. All these things should be squashed. You cannot turn bona fide merchants into network marketers. Talking about residual income, paying upline. This is pure network marketing. So tell us what you want. And as I said to you, Mr. Admin, and to Augustine, we are the face of TBC. Tomorrow, and you wake up on the wrong side of the bed, you can say to all of us on the blog, you are no longer here. Who will find you? I asked you the question, who will find you? Except for a few of us who know where you are. But who will find you? And so I am saying now to you, admin, this is not management. I am saying now to you and your surrogates, you cannot take a whole community and hold us at ransom. It's not management. Good evening, Mr. Abundance and the house. We are all with you. Thank you very much, Dame Adiola. Good evening, Tibicians. God is still in control in TBC. In Bimobo, God's power. Thank you very much, my brother. Good evening, Mr. Abundance. More grease to your elbow. I love what you're doing. I normally call you the eye opener. God bless you. And if a lot of you be truthful to yourself, is when Mr. Abundance came on the scene, you know what TBC is really about. You can testify that TBC audios and videos have caused a lot of you to cash flow. And so if TBC is saying be careful with Mr. Abundance, all of you then, the people that you're cash flowing have to be careful of you. This is why I say I don't think the admin was in his right mind when he was saying this. You see? The spirit just reminded Mr. Abundance the story of Mordecai and the gallows that he built for Naaman, for Naaman. And we know the story in the Bible very well. And so my spirit just reflect on that story in the Bible, and it's a very pertinent story that the gallows that Naaman, the gallows that Naaman built for Mordecai, he himself fell into that gallows. And so we have to be careful what we say. We have to be careful what we say, because everything that the admin is saying is no question. He's actually questioning. He's questioning his own character. And so it's a very dangerous thing to be doing. Mr. Abundance, if there were good leaders like you, the world will be good and would get democracy. In the Telegram group, I said what you're now saying, and I was dismissed. You are right. You point out the lies that Mr. Abundance. He says that the truth is not in Mr. Abundance. So if the truth is not in Mr. Abundance, admin, please tell us the truth and at least be transparent. At least be accountable. Let us know, when are we going to really enter full-blown economy? You told the community in through your chief spokesperson that come November is our last redemption. Did I tell the community that? Was it me who told the community our last redemption is going to be in November? And come January, we are going to in the full-blown economy where we will be experiencing new projects. Is it who, Mr. Abundance, who told the community that? I say to you, Mr. Admin, it's not enough to speak. You have to back it with what you're saying. Good evening, Mr. Abundance. May God Almighty continue to bless you. Thank you, my brother. I am Salios from Kaduna, Nigeria. We are all behind of you, Mr. Abundance. Are you sure? Because the admin says that I have lost 70% of my support. I wonder if the admin believes that we are so ignorant. I wonder if the admin believe that we are so dunce, as we will say in local term, that he in one blog could have actually have Mr. Abundance disappear from TBC. I wonder if he understand that destroying Mr. Abundance is actually destroying TBC. He don't even know that Mr. Abundance has now taken up root in TBC, that he himself cannot get rid of. I don't know if he understand the influence that I have. And I am even selling myself short in areas I don't know. One person said in TBC, Mr. Abundance, I've registered over 200 people, but you might only see me one in your broadcast. But I represent over 200, and we're all behind of you. How many more people are like that in TBC? How dare you? How dare you, Mr. Admin? All we're asking for leadership. That's all we're asking for. We're not asking for no personal favor. I am Silas. Okay, I've read that already. All right, hi. Yes, Joseph. I like your smile. Mr. Wealthgate, Mr. Abundance, we appreciate you for the eye-opening. Admin can't take the glory by saying I did this and I did that. We are all important. Well, my dear, you will be now classified as a trash that need to be taken out with Mr. Abundance, because we do not support the Bitcoin bounty. And that is what is killing the admin. Admin will rather destroy TBC than to give up the Bitcoin bounty rewards. And the operatives, the broadcasters, they will rather go to the bin with TBC than to give up their Bitcoin bounty, because some of them have never seen such money in their lives, and they don't care if we go down or whether we achieve full-blown economy. Not once they have a few dollars in their pockets. God has answered my prayer. Mr. Abundance is a prophet. You are a hero, Mr. Abundance. No, you can't tell that to admin. By the way, admin watches every video. Every recording that I have made, admin watches. He may not post them, but I am telling you, he watches them. I know the admin. And that is why I am saying to you, Augustine, spend some time to know the admin. Spend some time to know the admin. I've already asked you 3 questions, Mr. Augustine. Do you know where the admin lives? Do you know the second tier of the admin plan to get us to full-blown economy? Do you know who suggested it and what the admin thought of the person who suggested it? Please tell the community, those of the admin to whom you say you have been sent and appointed by the admin to go with Mr. Abundance, to counteract everything that Mr. Abundance is saying. You said you have been sent by the admin. And so before you can even enter the ring with Mr. Abundance, please answer those 3 questions. You can even inbox me if you don't want to say it, and then I can welcome you into the circle of the admin. But if you don't know those, you're still outside, because there is a circle that is within a circle around the admin. And so if you're just in the outer circle, you must know who you're representing. Even Jesus Christ, I mean God himself, shows up openly to his creation. He taught his disciples, he gave them authority to go and teach others with evidence. The admin is in a very privileged position to have people like you and I promoting and being the face of TBC society. Admin today can drop TBC like a hot potato and move on to something else, and no one would be able to link this project or another project with admin. Admin used the blog, admin used the send button meeting to constantly hammer in our heads that he has to remain anonymous to secure or to keep the expense of security down. May I say to you, Mr. Admin, you can tell that to your Bitcoin contestants, and you can tell that to your broadcasters, but that will not go down anymore with Mr. Abundance. I have heard it said many times, and you have used it for the past 3.5 years to hide your identity, because you can jump from this and you can create something else and nobody will know who you are. We in TBC community are now demanding for you to reveal yourself, else we will not pay another back office. We are saying to you, we will pay the expenses of whatever security it will cost for you to reveal yourself to the house. We are saying you can no longer hide behind expenses, because we are now meaningful specific. And so I am saying to you and your operatives, those who want Bitcoin bounty, show yourself from November 1st, or I am saying to the whole community of Division, we will not support you blindly anymore. I said TBC cannot operate any longer the way you have run it for the past 3.5 years. You cannot no longer continue to fool we in the Kringle Society. We are ready to put up whatever it takes to protect you and to protect our Kringles and TBC in our wallet. Show yourself and stop hide between the cloak. Show yourself to the community. I am demanding. Mr. Abundance is saying to the entire community, come November 1st, there shall be no monies be submitted to admin except you show yourself and give us accountability. Stop hide behind security. We have heard that too often. We have heard it too often. Good evening. We need to spend our precious coins. So Mr. Abundance, keep focus. Mr. Abundance, the eye opener. That's your new name. No, you must keep Mr. Abundance there. You must always have Mr. Abundance. I am saying to all of us in TBC, admin will not take us to the garbage. He will not extort from the poor every month a monthly fee and cannot give us something tangible to take back to our community. It will not continue. It cannot be allowed to continue. So I am giving you, Augustine, since you are the mouth person for Mr. Admin, I am giving you your homework. I hope you can really take on the task to which you're asked to do. I told the admin and I told the broadcasters, this is not a fight that admin wants. It's not a fight that you want either, Mr. Augustine. This is not a fight. We're asking for transparency. That's all we're asking for. Mr. Abundance, Nambia eyes on you, and so do not be discouraged by the current situation. I am saying to Namibia, Namibia, this is nothing to Mr. Abundance. A lot of you have listened to my recordings in the past. I told you that Mr. Abundance stood up to 75% of my villagers over a hotel project. I said 75% of my villagers, they had knives, they have cutlass, they had guns, they have dogs, they have stones. Even my mother was in the audience against Mr. Abundance. But Mr. Abundance knows that he was doing the principal thing for the entire community to get us to a higher level. That battle went on for about 3 months. Every day I was escorted to work under strict police security as the manager. And the entire community can bear witness of that, because the newspaper links are still on the internet. So anything I say to you, you can go back and pick it up in the news. I was being escorted day and night with armed police force, back and forth from work. I went up against 75% of my own community, because Mr. Abundance can see beyond his nose. Mr. Abundance has a gift that is rare. I have a gift that is rare. And so they were fighting the owner. And I told them, be still, because this will help the community. But the politicians, they muddied the water. They used the media to portray the owner of the project as barbaric, that don't have no feelings for the people. Or they portray the owner. The media had a field day with Mr. Abundance and the owner. The media came and they took photos of Mr. Abundance in his vehicle. They ensured that my mother was on the outside and Mr. Abundance in the inside. And they said that Mr. Abundance is going up even against his mother with the project. I am just trying to show and to tell the community that what Mr. Admin has said is not even a percent of what I have been through. To cut a long story short, may I say to the entire community of Tibetians, and one day I will look up the hotel. By the way, while I am at it, I will look it up and I will show you the hotel. Carlisle Bay Resort. Carlisle Bay Resort, Antigua. This is the hotel that I was managing in 2001 as the assistant general manager. Let me see. Okay, wanted. Okay, all right. So let me just share my screen a little. Let me just share my screen while I keep on talking. Just to share my screen, because Mr. Admin said there's no truth in Mr. Abundance. There's no truth in Mr. Abundance. And so, yes, this is the hotel here. This is the hotel. This is Carlisle Bay, and this is my village. Actually, this is called Old Road in Antigua, Carlisle Bay Resort, in 2001. And to cut a long story short, the hotel is now ranked one of the best in Antigua. The hotel has now hosted the royal families out of England. The hotel is now a a significant contributor to the life of the villagers. May I say to you, those who went up against me turn around to thank Mr. Abundance for my wisdom that they could not see. They could not see what Mr. Abundance was doing. Those who were with stones in their hands and cutlasses and machete, they are now working at this resort called Carlisle Bay Resort in Old Road, Antigua. This is the resort. This is the resort. So, just want to let the people in TBC knows that Mr. Abundant knows when he speaks about leadership. He knows what leadership is about. And when I see something good, I know it is. And that is why I am taking my time to put the structure in place to guarantee what TBC's vision is all about. I know what I'm saying. I am not a fly-by-night, Mr. Augustine. Who have you managed, Mr. Augustine? What is your credentials in management? I'm asking you, who have you managed? Who have you stood up for? What is your history? Who know your name? Do you think advocating for a few Bitcoin bounty is integrity? Do you think advocating for network marketing in TBC is leadership? Do you think by picking up a mic, a YouTube mic, is integrity? Austin, you need to come and learn at the feet of Mr. Abundance. If you really want to be meaningful in TBC, I beg of you, my brother, I beg of you, come and learn so that you can be really meaningful. Okay, so let's move on quickly. Oh, please hold the comments so that I can wrap up in 5 minutes. Mr. Abundance, God bless your good work. Success for the black race all the way. Mr. Abundance, God is behind you. You Africans are behind you. Nigerians are behind you. You are a savior, a great leader, unlike Mbe Derrick, who is greedy for the money of his sisters and brothers. From his sisters and brothers, he take part in the looting of his people. I did not say it. I did not say it. I am sorry, Mr. Admin, your idea is indeed brilliant, but nothing in the universe can buy integrity. You are hidden from human beings. You have surely achieved your great part for why you were born in history. And so the admin can no longer hide behind of security. This is the turning point for the admin. Do what is right. There will be no hiding place for him anymore. He wants $25 and full-blown economy. If admin gets in an accident today, even if I do not wish so, how can we be with TBC? A society with only one person to lead it. It is dictatorship. My dear Severin, it's not leadership. It's not. Now give us, dear brother, the instruction to take. We will tell you that if admin does not listen to us, we will enter state Interpol fund to apprehend all those who are taking money. Interpol. Admin wants our $25 and not our full-blown economy. Out of the poor by playing on their poverty psychology. It will not continue. It cannot continue. Now lead a team that will follow us as your disciples and don't carry the burden alone. And what the community is asking is lists submitted to you by Mr. Abundance. Nothing wrong with that. The full-blown economy admin is saying is to collect $25 a month from 3.4 million and disappear. My fellow Tibetians, open your eyes because we got Mr. Abundance. Well, that is why we have to put structure in place, that nobody wakes up one morning and read on the blog that that the admin is no longer. No, we cannot afford to face our community with that type of management. Greeting, Mr. Bonnet, more grease to your elbow. Timothy, good evening. Good evening to all good leaders and God be with you in great humble leader, Mr. Abundance, till Almighty God fulfill his purpose upon you in Jesus' name. Thank you very much, Jabu. Good evening, Mr. A. Bless you, darling. Mark Robert, good evening, Mr. Abundance. We are with you and supporting you in anything. Good evening. Don't forget that TBC said I have no support. I've already lost 70% of all of you. Good evening, Mr. Abundance. I have listened to your voice notes for about 2 days now, and your points are very cognate. And if it is well applied to the community, we will be there in no time. Thank you very much, Alaid Ashola. That's all I need. Accountability in TBC. And we will not stop until we get accountability. We will not stop. That's all we're asking for. Mr. Abundance, I wish you can take everything good to bring peace in the community, please. Yes, we want peace, but with peace, we also want transparency, accountability, and with peace, we want to be able to go to our communities, and we want to be able to go and sleep at night, knowing that we are on our road to full-blown economy. Many people have borrowed money. Many people have sold properties. Many people have went into debt to be a part of this community. We cannot afford to fool these people and to keep spinning around until 40 years before we reach the promised land. We have to do the meaningful. I don't trust the admin. He is like he's hiding. He has hidden agenda. Checking in. Abundance Junior is checking in. Mr. Abundance is a good leader and protect you every time. I wish TBC is spendable soon. Mr. Abundance, thank you. Chipek, I think that's my good friend over there in Nigeria. Mr. Abundance, you are the man. Well, I didn't really thought that I would have to, be doing this, but somebody has to do it. All right, please stop your comments. I am now going to the bottom of the comments to come up so that we can finish. Tomorrow, the debate continues for accountability, and we're going to take on the articles of association. Mr. Abundance, you are the instrument of God. Please don't be discouraged. No, not at all. I am not being discouraged. So I know my last comment is from Chipek. Oh, no. Chipek has several more. I can't even take his to say from him. Right on, Mr. Abundance. Can I ask you a question, sir? Who is Kenneth Scott Cousins? Well, Kenneth Scott is the founder of the Pantera de Oro Society that was founded in 2001. The Pantera de Oro Society is a private society on which the Kringle Society is now being built or erect. So our foundation is the Pantera de Oro Society, and the creator is Mr. Kenneth Scott. Thank you very much. Good evening, Mr. Abundance. Keep the fire up because our toil cannot go down like that. No, we will not go down in disgrace. We will not be a laughing stock in this industry. We cannot be a laughing stock. A lot of people in one coin today have to walk with their heads down. I am saying, and that was the same system in one coin, one leader. One leader. I said we cannot go down like one coin and bury our heads in the sand and continue to buy the admin garbage of hidden charges because of security. No, he cannot continue to hide behind security. He has to come out as all of us and face the music. He can pick up tomorrow. He can catch an airplane tomorrow and fly back to the States from where he's at. Nobody will know. Nobody will know. We don't have that luxury. Mr. Abundance, don't allow evil to reign in TBC community. Evil will not reign in TBC community. There are too many pastors in TBC who have bring the entire flock with them. I said there are too many pastors in TBC who have brought the entire flock with them in TBC because Mr. Abundance has told them to do it. I told the pastors that if they don't do it, their congregation will not hold them favorably in history. Mr. Abundance has told them that. And that is why Mr. Abundance must defend the principles and must call for transparency in TBC. TBC admin must apologize to the whole TBCians for what he has done to you and the whole TBC community. Well, far as the admin knows, he has done nothing. He has done nothing because if we don't agree with his Bitcoin bounty, then we are trash and we are weaklings, according to Embe. We are weaklings. Somebody who a couple of months ago could hardly buy a soap, could hardly twist, is now calling people weaklings. Remember from whence you came, my brother. Remember from whence you came. Mr. Abundance could go through a laundry list of my accomplishment, but it's not about me. I know Augustine 100%. He is a major discounter of TBC. Now, my goodness. And now, this is the Augustine who the admin has sent to challenge Mr. Abundance. This is why I am saying to you, the people who are coming, people has your file. What credibility do you have, Mr. Augustine, as a discounter? These are people in Nigeria who know you. You are the one. You are one of them that has brought TBC to where it is, and now you are coming. Does the admin know who you are? Does he see your back office? Because if you're going to represent Mr. Abundance, you can even ask those who are representing me. They have to at least declare who they are and their intentions to Mr. Abundance before they can be any of my admin. They don't just go be an admin like that. They have to demonstrate in the community that they're worth to be a part of my admin staff. They must demonstrate. Now we have Chipek, and Chipek is known in the community of TBCians. Admin have sent a discounter to speak to Mr. Abundance, who has cleaned out all the discounters in TBC. He is now sending to Mr. Abundance to challenge Mr. Abundance, a discounter of our Kringle, an enemy to our progress. He now find to send as a surrogate to represent him. Mr. Admin, they said birds of a feather flock together. I hope that you do not represent the character to which you sent to defend you, because the society is saying that Augustine, who is making all this noise, is a major discounter in TBC. I have to chat of discounting sent by Mr. Augustine to me. Now here you have Mr. Admin You're talking about people must be careful of dealing with Mr. Abundance. And that is why I say to you, Mr. Admin, that God is not sleeping, and that the gallows that you built for Mr. Abundance shall swallow you and your broadcasters one by one. And here you have Augustine. He has been the first one to fail in the gallows that you have built. Who in TBC are more detrimental than the discounters in TBC? You tell me, who can bring more harm to TBC than the discounters? Those that I have worked so hard to get rid of in TBC community, you now found it fit to use a discounter. Have mercy. Can it get any worse? Can it get any worse? Mr. Admin, I will send the evidence of discounting by Mr. Augustine to the world. Lord have mercy. Mr. Admin, is this what you really want? But you have opened the door that only you can shut. And so I want you to choose the people that you're sending out to counter Mr. Abundance. Because as you can see, the first one has been swallowed up by the gallows that you have built. And I didn't have to take him down. His own people is doing it for him. I will send the evidence, and they can send you the evidence. I am not asking for it. They will send the evidence. So Augustine, Mr. Augustine, worse than a devil in TBC community. Is not Mr. Abundance is saying it. If anyone in TBC is meaningful, is Chipek out of Nigeria. He is cash flowing. He has an audience. He speaks on the grassroots in Nigeria. Whenever I want anything done, whenever I want anything to be authenticated, I call on this man to do it for me. Whenever I want a second opinion, I call on Chipek to do it for me. And so I know who is speaking. I know who is speaking. Mr. Augustine is fake and he's corrupt. Well, the admin says that you must be careful. I am saying to the admin, please, please, I do not wish to bring TBC in disrepute or bring TBC to his knees. Far from it. I have worked too hard in TBC. I am saying to you, Mr. Admin, it cannot be business as usual. And we are demanding a face. We are demanding a face from November 1st that you must put your face on TBC. Else we will withhold our contribution because we are prepared to pay for your expenses. You can no longer hide behind security. Hello, Mr. Abundance. Thank you for doing this video. I am very happy, sir. May the admin, he has among the elite. May very happy. Maybe Mr. Admin has among the elites. Mr. Augustine is not qualified to challenge Mr. Abundance. Well, well, I have asked him 3 questions, and so if he can answer them, then I will. If he can answer them, I will respect him. If he can't answer them, then he's not in admin circle. And the 3 questions again, I am saying to Mr. Chipek, do you know where the admin lives as you and I are speaking? Because you said you are here listening. Do you know where the admin lives? Do you know the second tier of the program that admin has for TBC full-blown economy? And 3, do you know whose idea it is and what the admin thinks about the person who made the idea. If you can tell us those three, answer those three questions, then I can say you are among the big boys in TBC. But if you cannot answer those questions, it's time for you to sit at the feet of Mr. Abundance and at least learn before you take a mic, because having a mic is not leadership. I said you must first become a person of value before you can speak to Mr. Abundance. Mr. Abundance, what then happened to all of our hard-earned money? You can speak to the broadcasters. They have a plan that we don't have, because they think that they can network us into full-blown economy. That is the plan. They think that they can network us into full-blown economy. Mr. Abundance, God is your courage. Ride on in Jesus. Thank you very much. Best man, you are my man. Thank you very much, Mr. Jacob. And please, I am winding down. Mr. Abundance, good morning. Good morning, my dear Monica, out of Papua New Guinea. Now, there's something I just want to say, because the admin made a reference to those who are dealing with me. Monica is a perfect example of Mr. Abundance dealing in principal position. Monica reached out to me. They have problems with people who are charging them over $100, nearly $100 or over $100 to activate their back office. I want the community, not me, to ask Monica Umpa how many back offices I have upgraded for her without 1 cent has been reached to Mr. Abundance yet. Ask Monica Umpa how much money I have already expended out of my pocket without 1 cent from her. She has not met Mr. Abundance, but because she called Mr. Abundance, she called Mr. Abundance from Equatorial Guinea, no, not Equatorial Guinea, from Papua New Guinea, and told me of her plight. And I used my money to upgrade a few of them. I have not yet received a cent. And so when the admin is talking about, be careful when you're doing business with Mr. Abundance, because he's only about himself. Really? How many of your broadcasters and Bitcoin contesters have done what Mr. Abundance have done? I have gone into my pocket and have paid for TBC for people who can't pay it for themselves until when they can. That is what I am doing to expand the community. And you're talking about trust. Mr. Admin, you're talking about trust? Huh? Mr. Admin, you don't know. You spent a lot of time with Mr. Abundance. But I can say, based on the blog, of a truth, I can say of a truth, you really do not know Mr. Abundance as I thought you did. You did not. You do not really know Mr. Abundance. You really don't know Mr. Abundance. All right. Let's see. Good evening, Mr. Abundance. Right on. We're solidly behind you. Sir Shadak from Inugu, Uganda. Thank you very much, Peter. Mr. Abundance, millions of Tibetan because of you, so never be cowered into submission. You this nuisance of the community. The nuisance of the community. I will not be coward. Mr. Abundance, all white guys has get out from TBC. Only the black TBC admin is using for manipulate of Africans. Nobody will be manipulated. Very, very true. I am very thankful. Now, here is Monica Umpa out of Papua New Guinea is confirming what Mr. Abundance have just said. And I only said it because her name just came up. I could have done it before with many other people that is in this forum, but I chose not to. But I did it because Monica is special. Monica is special. And so I just have to make that in passing. I am not saying anything to impress anyone. It's not to impress you, but to impress upon all of us that all of us must be meaningful. All of us must be meaningful. And so finally, as I bring this to a close, well done, Mr. Abundance, and everyone in the house. We TBCians are appealing to the TBC admin to maintain the yearly admin fees. I want to thank each and every one of you for attending this series. Tomorrow, we will continue as we open up the Kringle. Thank you, my good brother, Michael Teta. You just came in. We will be dealing with the Kringle Contract Association and what it is and our rights. And so what we are calling for is not anything outside of TBC. We are calling for management in TBC. We are calling for the TBC to stop hide behind of we are not enough figures, as his surrogate says. We are not strong enough. Really? 3.4 million? We don't need transparency? Really? A matter of fact, TBC need an overhaul audit from 2016 to show us where the money went. That's what he needs to do. He's talking about truth. He's talking about integrity. Thank you very much. Very powerful info. This is what we need from our pastors. God bless you very much, Mr. Abundance. Samuel Iniful from Ghana. Thank you very much, my dear brother. And I don't want anybody thinks that they can disrespect the admin. I don't want anyone believe that they can speak down to the admin. No, this is not the forum. This is not the forum to be disrespectful to the admin, to speak down to the admin. No, this is not the forum for that. This is the forum that we're calling for accountability, transparency, good management systems and policies, and to effect what we all agreed, which is the Privy Council and the Board of Trustees to help manage the affairs of TBC. And so I just want to say thanks to all. Thanks to the creator of the Billion Coin. Thanks for his mission. Thanks for his insight. And thanks for his foresight. It is a brilliant idea. We just need now to bring in management and leadership, better programs and policies to get us to the mission, to get us to achieve the mission of TBC. Long live TBC admin, long live TBC, long live the Kringle Society. Thank you very much. Enjoy your evening. This is Mr. Abundance.